up, Blockchain Nation? What up, YouTube? So, thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the link below so that you can get weekly videos. Big thank you, shout out to everyone who has subscribed already. And today we're going to talk about resources that you can use to code, or should I say, a very, in my personal opinion, great way to learn how to code, basically. But before I do that, I gotta show you this. So I have this new keyboard that is just so cool. Check this out. Watch this. Changes colors, man. You look at that. Isn't that so cool? Anyways, moving on. So in my personal opinion, very effective, wonderful way to learn how to code. I'm just going to mention what I call 5 things, and they all start with a P, so it'll be easy for you to remember. So of course, the first thing is a program or a course. Personal favorite for me is Udemy. There are so many out there. There's Udacity, there's Team Treehouse and stuff. So basically, depending on what programming language you want to learn, you can just look for a good course that has usually the best sellers are good. I always like to look at the reviews and how many people have taken the course. So a good one, if you want to learn basic web development, is CodeSteel's course, or maybe you want to learn JavaScript or Python or Rest. So to pick a programming language depending on what you want to achieve. If you want to go into data science, you might want to pick Python. If you want to learn about gaming, maybe C++. But basically, I won't tell you what programming language to pick, but make sure you pick a programming language and then find a course and go through the entire course. Because I think that's where a lot of us fall short. We do not complete the course. We start and we don't finish. So make sure you complete the course. And then, so that's the first thing, is to actually pick a program or a course for the programming language that you want to learn. Go through the course in its entirety, whether it's on Udemy, whether it's on Udacity, whether it's on any other of those online platforms out there. So once you've completed the course, the problem that I see and I've run into is that after you complete the course, you want to do another course. You feel like you need to learn more about this, which is good, but I'm not saying you shouldn't learn. But the moment you've learned the basic stuff, go to the next thing, which will be to learn the principles. Because there's one thing to know how to code, or to know how to do the basic stuff like how to use for loops, how to write functions and stuff like that. But it's always good to know the core principles of computer science. So learning core computer science principles, a good place to be like Free Code Camp. So you can learn about stuff like big O notation. You can learn about data structures. So as you can see, Free Code Camp is absolutely free. You can learn about JavaScript. You can learn about algorithms and data structures. JavaScript, well, JavaScript is not what you want to learn, but still you'll learn about object-oriented programming and stuff like that. Another cool resource that is free is if you go on GitHub. You see a lot of GitHub is like the CV for developers, and you get to see a lot of projects and what people are working on. But I saw this cool resource on GitHub on algorithms. So it teach you about data structures. You can read through this on algorithms, about linked lists and stuff. And also I love the fact that it also teaches you about big O notation, which are called computer science concepts, because you can learn all the stuff about development and how to build websites and stuff like that. But it's also a good thing to learn the core principles of computer science, like all this stuff. So the first thing is to, when you've gone through the actual program, make sure you just go straight to learn the principles, which is a very good thing to learn, so that you are not behind the curve. Yeah. So third thing is practice. I noticed a lot of people, once you've done the course, you want to do as many as possible, and you're afraid to like try stuff. You think like, I'm not ready, let me learn more stuff, which is happens to all of us. I mean, that's me too. But practice is good. So a good resource to learn how to practice, I'll list a few. One is Code Wars. I love Code Wars. Whatever programming language, and it's free. So whatever programming language you're trying to learn, you can go to Code Wars. You can sign up for an account, and it gives you loads and loads of practice questions to sharpen your skills. You see all this, Code Wars is better than college. I forgot to eat dinner because I was on Code Wars. It's actually a very, very good resource. and whatever you want to learn, whether it's C, C++, PHP, Python, or JavaScript, you can create a CodeWars account and you can practice and practice and practice and practice and practice every day, and that will also help you to sharpen your skills. So first is the program, going through the entire course. Second is the principles, learning about basic computer science concepts. Third is practice. And here's something that I'm currently doing, which I thought was great. Is by Wes Bos. It's called JavaScript 30. I'm actually doing this with JavaScript. There's so many libraries that you can use, like jQuery. You can use Angular. You can use Vue. You can use React and stuff. So, but we sometimes forget the basic vanilla JavaScript skills, and that's what I love about this course. So it's so cool. So for 30 days, you have something that you can do. It's a project that you can work on for 30 days to sharpen your skills. I think you should subscribe to this, and I love this because this is free. So thank you, Mr. Wes Bos, for making JavaScript 30 available. So this is practice, practice, and more practice. And also, Free Code Camp is also a good way to practice. For instance, this responsive web design certification, it's very hands-on, and you can learn how to do some basic HTML, CSS stuff by doing this, and that's very, very good practice. It's 300 hours of practice, so that's a very good course too. So Free Code Camp is free, and a lot of things you can get on Free Code Camp. So fourth is projects. So learn how to build. Once you learn the skills and the basic stuff, I think a good way to learn, even if once you've gone through the basics, is just to go out there and try it. You know, you never know unless you try. So a good way to build projects here on Free Code Camp. There's some coding projects that you can work on as you do these certifications. Well, JavaScript 30, as you're practicing, the good thing about this is all these are just like mini projects too. So this is cool. So you're learning, you're practicing, and you're building little projects, because you often wonder, what can I work on, what are projects I can do? And I think these are cool projects that you can work on. So JavaScript 30 and Free Code Camp help you with two things. They help you with practice, and they help you with dummy projects. Another way to do a project would be to come up with like maybe your portfolio or your own personal site. So if you go to htmlup.net, these are templates that are absolutely free, but it'll be also great to support the guys and the girls who create these templates. So you can just click on free download. Yeah, so check out Plexlary, Accessible Templates, and support me for just $19. I think it's a good thing to support the people that build these templates anyway. So that's it. So the download is complete. So you can take a template like this, get out of here, and open up I love to use Visual Studio Code, and you can open up the template that you download. So let's say, for example, this is just something to work on. I mean, after going through something, this Code Camp course and the basics, you can just download the template here, and then you can just play around with it and see what happens. So if you see, like this is the template that I downloaded. As you can see, it's just bare bones, and then you can just play around. Like this home button, you can just come and let's see what we can do about this. I can say, well, this begin or something. Just playing around. Don't mind me. Don't say, oh, why are you putting begin? So you see, this changes. So basically, just messing around with this. You can't break anything. It's a good way to just learn basic HTML, and this is your this could be one of your projects to work on. And you can put it on your GitHub as one of your projects. So this is something that you can do as well. Another place that I like to get templates from is from the Envato Market, but these are not too expensive, $15, $25. You can download one of these templates that you can use and just pretty much play around with it and see where that leads. So once again, cool way to learn how to code, in my personal opinion, is first of all, you pick a program or a course from Udacity, from Udemy, or Free Code Camp, go through the entire course. Second is to learn the basic principles, basic computer science principles, which you can learn also from Free Code Camp. And I just want to recommend a nice book that teaches you that. This is called Cracking the Coding Interview. This book serves two purposes, in my opinion. It teaches you basic concepts like big O notation, like basic computer science concepts, and also prepares you, too many P's, prepares you for the programming interview. So that teaches you the principles. Then practice with Code Wars, which is a good tool, and there's so many other ones out there. I can show you probably in a subsequent video. There are other sites that you can go to that you can practice. And another good one, which I'm currently doing, is JavaScript 30, which I think is just really cool. And then you can build projects. So JavaScript 30 and FreeCode Camp help you with that, because as you're practicing on some very cool projects, and you can also download templates and just play around with these templates and see what you can come up with. And lastly, last P, excuse me, is, let me just show you. I'm just going to record my phone in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is podcasts. I love podcasts, because sometimes when you're doing this, I'm recording my screen now. Yeah, when you're doing this coding stuff, it can get very demotivating and overwhelming. So I like listening to podcasts, especially now. I listen to a lot, but just a few. One is called Code Newbie. I like this podcast, and I'll tell you why. For example, it tells you how to get hired, coding without code. But yeah, I like these episodes. It says from police recruiter to developer. That's encouraging. So as you're going through your coding journey, listening to these podcasts has been very inspiring. How someone went from being a police recruit to developer. There's another story like that. What was this one? Moms Who Code, from nanny to developer, which was a very cool episode too. And last podcast is another podcast. I'll show you that real quick. It's called Learn to Code with Me. I think I passed that. Where are you? So yeah, Learn to Code with Me. How one airport security officer became an IT solution specialist. I like listening to these podcasts. They motivate me when I'm having tough times. Why you shouldn't learn to code even if you don't want to work in tech. Why you should learn to code. So this is a good podcast. Learn to Code with Me, and so many of them. But yeah, those are just a few. Start Over Code is also a good one. Anyways, so yeah, that's just it. So I hope that helps. 5 concepts that you can use to learn how to code: program, principles, practice, projects, and podcasts. Please hit the subscribe button below if you're getting value from this channel. And until next time, my wish for you is that you learn how to code, because coding is changing and will change the world, especially this blockchain, distributed ledger technology space. And in my personal opinion, those who get involved early will greatly impact the future. And if that's you, then let's go change the world.